that would have been fixed with a slice of cheesecake. Demo Salvatore was my 18 dream, but now the only one I be with is Chandler Bing. Yeah, here I am talking to you since I'm 30 as fuck.
Oh my god, you have no idea how much I love this intro. Anyway, welcome everyone to another episode of 30 as fuck. As always, I'm Vanessa Rossi and I'm your host, and always happy to be here with you and share with you, as I always said, wisdom, fears, and lessons I learned, even just thoughts I have and how much I changed my mind. And everything that I learned so far and how I'm feeling being in my 30s. Okay, today is a little bit different, meaning that a couple days ago, I actually wrote this episode. And I want to talk about confidence and self-worth and self-esteem. I put down literally 2 pages of what I wanted to talk about, but then a couple days ago, so after I actually wrote the episode, something happened. And so I was like, okay, I think I need to share this because it's really, really important. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I'm going to share with you what I wrote and what I thought about confidence, and then how actually it changed already in a couple days after. Okay, so when I literally sat down and started to write this episode, I wanted to talk about the idea of confidence. And I was about to tell you how confident I am, that now I'm on my 30 and I'm actually super, super good with who I am. I like who I am. I love myself and everything. And that is true. But at the same time, I wasn't aware of how sensitive still I am, how fragile is still like this confidence. So let's start from the beginning. So I feel that we are all born with confidence. I don't think that you have ever met a kid scared of do something because worried about somebody else's judgment. You know, they would literally throw themselves on fire no matter the consequences. Then we start to get the knowledge of rules and that we have to behave in a certain way and that people would judge us. And so we start to actually ask ourselves, should I do this? Should I not do this? And all those type of things. Take me, for example. I was personally a kid with lots of confidence. I was always the first in line to do things. I was jumping on stage at every occasion, talking a lot, at the center of everything. I wasn't scared to be who I wanted to be. And I think that's actually what it is. So I always thought that was what it meant to be confident. Wanted to be at the center, not be scared to talk, not do this, not do that. Like be bold and just go for it. And I reached my 30 and I was like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to be that girl again. I wanted to be that confident. And then I realized that actually it wasn't the way I was acting. It was the way I was feeling. I was not feel scared. And I really believed in myself. And I was like, you know what? I want to do this and I'm going to do it. You know, I believe that I can do this. And I'm going to just enjoy the moment. And if I change my mind tomorrow because I want to do something else, that's fine. How many times you started maybe a sport or you went to dance and then you switched to something else because you were not interested anymore. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. But then something happens. Then something happened to me, especially. I met the bullies. Wonderful people they are, right? Always telling you you're too much or making you feel uncomfortable in your own skin and make you literally doubt about yourself. I was their favorite toy, for sure. And when you find those people at an age of development, as I did, I was literally 6 years old, it's kind of impossible to not let them let them like change you. Like those words and action that they throw at you get under your skin and make you believe you are not worth it. Then we move on in time, and I met also my math teacher in middle school. Lovely lady that always was making me feel I was the most stupid person on the planet. And do you know something funny? Do you really want to know something funny? I'm actually good at math. I found out in high school when I finally got a decent teacher with ability to actually teach, and suddenly I was a genius. Incredible. Then I met the boys. Oh, the boys when you're a teenager. In their defense, I was not the most pretty girl as a teenager. I was a late bloomer. And as now, of course, I'm aging like fine wine. But that didn't give them the right to treat me like shit or make me feel I was the most ugly person on this planet, because I was not. I was a bloomer, just late, but I was still a flower, you know? What did I notice about confidence and all the things that happened to me is that after it's been destroyed, it's very difficult to achieve again. I always thought about my confidence as the Jenga game. When you start a game, you build like this tower, and then basically you're supposed to take like pieces out of it and not make it fall. So I feel that in time, like I was born with this beautiful, like giant tower. And then in time, people just started to take pieces out of it. And I started to not feel myself anymore, or be not that confident. And then sometimes they also destroy you, if you let them do this to you for too long. Of course, every person is different. We have different stories, different personalities, so our towers are different. We're more sensitive to something than others, but the final result is the same. Okay, so let's do a flashback to my 20s. And that's when I actually realized that everything that I've been through in my life, and all those people telling me who I was and how I was supposed to act, and telling me I was not enough, I was not worth it, and I was ugly, and I was this, and I was that. That became like the moment where I was like, oh, you know what? I think they're wrong. So I kind of started to ask a question about it. And so I started to rebuild my confidence. Okay, that's the tricky part. Basically, I think that what happens when you're actually that low and you're so broken is that when you start to rebuild your confidence, you're overprotective. Literally like a mom with a baby. And so you become also very, very sensitive. It's a tricky moment. And I feel that if you ever meet someone that, you tell them something and they're super, super sensitive about, to ask yourself if they are in this moment. Because literally it's like, I don't know, you're painting like something, like a fresh paint, and someone wants to touch it and you're like, no, don't touch it, because you're going to ruin it. So basically, it's the same thing. You're so overprotective, and that's what happened to me. I literally was not good with any criticism or anything, and I was scared that also anxiety. Oh my gosh, the anxiety part, I forgot about it. Like it was giving me so much anxiety, because I was literally rebuilding this tower, and every time that someone was telling me something, this tower was shaking, and I was like super anxious because I didn't want it to fall. Like I needed to finish it up to the end and be sure I was strong. And we jump to today. Okay, this is when what I was about to tell you, it's changing. So this is when I stop like following the script, and actually I'm gonna tell you what happened this week. I reached 30 and I'm sure my tower is strong. I'm so sure. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm confident. I really like who I am. I'm not scared to tell what I think. I found this balance between like taking criticism and like constructive criticism and everything. And I listen to myself, but also I question myself. Am I doing this because it's the right reason? And so I thought I was less sensitive. I was like, okay, this is amazing. I'm actually good. And then last week, something happened at work. So one of the customer, I work in customer service. One of the customer was not happy and they left a review. And it seems like that the review was directed to me. And they basically said that I mistreated them, that I was rude with them. And I know I'm not. I know I'm not perfect. I know that sometimes even the way I talk, I'm also Italian, I'm passionate, might sound like something that it's not. And I know that it doesn't matter who they are, what their skin color, what language they speak, their sexuality. I don't care. I always treat everyone the same. I've been raised by my family saying that you're gonna call out everyone that it's not acting good. It doesn't matter. All the things that I said below, and also you're going to treat everyone kindly. It doesn't matter, all the things that I just listed. And so basically it wasn't even like what she wrote, because I know the situation, I know what it was, I realized, and I was like, okay, it wasn't me, it was just like probably her projecting a little bit. What I didn't like, it was like the people around me, my colleagues, my bosses, that were like, oh, because Vanessa, you are like this, you are this, you are this, you are this. And I'm like, wait a second, no, I'm not this. Like, I'm not this type of person. I don't mistreat people just for the sake of it. Like, if I react to something, it's because probably something else happened. And as I said before, I know that I'm not perfect, but this is not what it is. I'm not rude with people. And then they were like, yeah, but it might sound like, if people doesn't know you and this and that, and you want to know something, that killed me. And suddenly, it was like a flashback when I was 20. I became super sensitive. I got like super anxiety for 2 days. And I was like questioning myself, my self-worth and my confidence, who I was and this and that. And I'm sharing this with you because this is exactly what this podcast is about. It's about, yes, I'm telling you what I figured it out, but also I'm telling you sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm still in the process, and it's okay sometimes to actually take like a few steps back or go back on things that you thought you solved. And so I still have to talk about this with my therapist. I'm talking to you first about this. And I had a conversation with my best friend, and I was like, okay, I need to let this out. I need to let you know. She's also like my colleague and my manager, to let you know how I feel, that I'm very sensitive about this. I know that you're telling me this, all of this, so you're not trying to judge me, or you're not trying to make me feel bad, but it's very, very important. It makes me anxiety. And I literally jump back like 3 or 4 years ago, when literally I was asking myself every single day if I was supposed to say this, I was not supposed to say, how am I acting? Is this coming out this way or this way? And it's not how I want to feel. So sharing all of this with you, because this can happen. Then let me explain to you how I actually didn't go into the me of 3 years ago again, and I actually stay back, and how I felt that actually my confidence is still okay. So another thing that I learned in the past few years is to understand people. I know it's a lot of work, but it's important. It's important to understand why people act in a certain way. It's important to understand why you act in a certain way, or why other people act in a certain way. So the lady that actually wrote the review, I think she is transgender. And probably she's going through her own life being mistreated by people. And this is very bad, just because of her sexuality, or the way she felt, or the way she chose to live her life. And so I know that maybe whatever I said in that moment, I wasn't trying to be rude with her, but maybe she might have read it that way. And so she was projecting on me. And she became very, very defensive. And she is probably still in that moment, on that area of still building her confidence in who she is, and be proud of who she is and everything. So I lost the track of my thoughts. Give me a second. You are not how other people perceive you or define you. You are the only person able to do so. this is my personal advice about all of this and what I learned in the past 10 years and how I learned to read people. That is a must. Most of the time, people make you feel in a certain way because they project on you. As I said, the lady probably projected on me. And even you, even me, we do that. It's normal. That's how we work. And if someone is treating you like shit, it is probably because they feel shit. Okay, this is not a justification or a good reason. It's just an explanation. What helps me the most is to understand why people do things and decide on my own reaction. Should I say something? Should I let them be? Should I eliminate this person or tolerate them? That's your decision, but for sure, learning why they act in a certain way gives you the freedom to do so. Also, learning why you react or act in a certain way will help you a lot to avoid some toxic people, to help you build your self-esteem even more and protect it. And that's what I did, basically. That's what I did last week. I was like, okay, let's put this on the table. Why she did that? Why am I reacting this way? Oh, okay, this is just a moment. A moment, it's probably PTSD, and that's what happened. And okay, I can really, really move on with it. So the most important thing I want to leave you with is I would like you to try to like yourself more and have some grace. So every time, that we feel that we don't have it all figured out, that we still think that our confidence is not that strong and all this type of thing, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, it takes time and effort, and especially if you had a childhood, and it could be anything, it could be bullies, it could be your parents or whatever. If you had people in your life that made you feel you were not worth it, literally you have to build from scratch what they destroyed. So give yourself some grace, really. Give yourself the time to heal what has been destroyed by others, and really you will be able to rebuild the Jenga tower even taller than it was at the beginning. We are who we are because of the experiences we went through. I am stubborn, I'm sensitive, I hate to be wrong, I always think I know better, sometimes even than my own gut. That's not really good, trust me. And then I pay the consequences. But I'm also kind, I'm smart, I'm beautiful in and out, and I have developed the skills and understanding, and I know how to forgive and forget. And that's my superpower. As I think this is something that it's like recurring, that's how we say it. Well, it's something that it's happening in every episode. It's the balance, guys. I'm a Libra, so give it to me, okay? I love balance. And that's my mantra. It's trying to balance the things in your life and meet in the middle with people, meet in the middle also with yourself or things that you want to do. I hope really you enjoyed this episode. And I hope, I left you with something, made you feel as always less lonely, and it's okay if we don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's okay even if we're 30, 31, 37, 40, 50, I don't know. We think that we have to have everything really solved and that we need to know everything about ourselves and about the world, but it's not how life works. So again, give yourself grace. So as always, hoping this will help you in any way. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, please remember to like it and share it and tag me on Instagram at Vanessa Rossi and 30SFAC official page. It's actually 30SFAC podcast page. And also stay tuned for next episode. Next episode is going to be crazy and special because we're going to have our first guest. It's my best friend and roommate and co-worker. We know each other for 10 years. Ada, she's my soulmate. I always say this. And we're gonna talk about dating on our 30s and share with you the worst dates that we had in the past 2 years. It's gonna be a lot to laugh and also a lot to learn because we learned a lot of things. And also it's going to be the first episode that's going to be actually videotape, and we're going to start the YouTube channel. So I'm very, very excited about that episode. Anyway, thank you again and see you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, here I am talking to you since I'm 30 as fuck.